So, like I was saying, I don't have any beef with anybody. That's not my thing. Y'all know I don't really do all that. I'm sorry. There's this person who's driving by. He on his bicycle. He felt the need to finally do that after I've been sitting out here for about maybe 10, 15 minutes. He's been literally covering that area over there. But he just needed to be in the scene this time around, huh? Anyway, I'm not worried about it because I'm getting ready to go. So there's none of that going on. I'm not really interested in being a part of any of that. Um, I don't typically engage in that kind of stuff anyway, you know. Um, it's just not my thing. I'm not the kind of person who is, I won't say, not confrontational or anything like that because no, I'll confront some things if I feel like there's a need for resolve. But nobody has gotten to me about, what they think I'm supposed to, be apologetic for or anything. Like nobody said anything. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward. I'm going to have to. But I want to say this really quickly. If what I have gone through is a result of someone's following or someone's group or something like that, I don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, my people thought that you were disrespecting me, so they came after you. If you know that that was your people now, then you knew that it was them then. And you should have done what you needed to do to clarify that, which means, or rectify the situation, which means that if I offended you all those times that you were listening behind the scene, and I said, what have I offended you about? How have I offended you? Somebody is offended and they're making a big deal out of it. I've been offended my entire life, but I learned to move on, but everybody doesn't have that trait. Some people really do require that. And I say, you know what? I understand how you could because shit, I know what it feels like to have to go throughout life without a fucking apology and motherfuckers have done some shit to you and you feel a way about it and they trying to mosey on like they don't care. I know what the fuck that's like. Shit. I sure do. And I would never want to be one of the people who's like that toward anyone. Trust and believe that. So that's why I said no. Let me inquire. Let me see. Is there something that someone may need for me to, look into or to address or something like that? Let me know what's going on. Talk to me. Because I don't do all that other stuff. So, I guess that would be a thing, but I'm like, if you knew that, then you should have been told people to like stand down. Like we haven't even reached a resolve on that yet. We don't even know like if we haven't heard from her yet. So y'all fall back because that shit can come back on me, right? That can come back on me. And like I said, I've asked enough times behind the scene, does anybody have anything that they want to say? This for like several years, by the way. Is there anybody have anything that they want to say, or is there anything that they may want to get off their chest or maybe address or something like that? You get what I'm saying? And it's weird because it's like people act like they know, but they act like they don't know, but they know. And then they get their asses out there and be like, oh, I need you to do this and do that and, be there to, apologize. And I'm like, but what am I apologizing? If I don't have a problem with playing that role, that's fine. I've always had to be the one who's apologized for something, even if it wasn't my fault, which really pisses me off sometimes because it's like sometimes you have to do it just to keep the peace. But my whole thing is I'm at a different place in my life right now, and I'm going to need to know what the reasoning behind you asking me to do this is for. I'm going to need to know that. because I don't know. And I think that a lot of people know that I don't know. And I think a lot of people have contributed to my lack of knowledge in that area. But there have been a lot of people who have also contributed to, making sure, like, girl, no, your instincts are on point. That's real. That's a real thing going on right now. So, and I appreciate that very much. I really do. But if I've offended somebody, I don't have a problem with saying, I did not mean to offend you. But when we go through the whole past, like maybe 3-4 years or so, it's almost like, but if it was y'all who had something to do with what I've been going through, that is crazy to me. And I feel like that was a waste of effort. I feel like that was a waste of time, possibly money, to make a point that didn't even need to be made. You could have just reached out to me and asked me, hey, are you aware that when you posted this or you said this or such and such, that was very offensive to me? And, we think that maybe you need to get yourself a publicist or something, because, you out here, who you are naturally just doesn't really work for, the industry that we work in. I'm okay with you saying that. I promise I am. Okay, it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm not going to feel a way about it. None of that. I swear I'm not. I prefer people be real. I prefer that. Talk to me like a real person. Like, no, you did such and such and such, and we felt like that was hella out of pocket. That was not okay. You dealing with somebody who wasn't really raised around people. Like, I was raised around different types of people, but I wasn't raised around like a lot of different people, right? So I spend a lot of time throughout my human to human interactions. I spend a lot of time understanding people, learning people. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I'm misstepping and I'm doing this intentionally or whatever the case. That doesn't mean that. That means that you're dealing with someone who, and a lot of people may not know what that's like because they can't put a name on it. No, I'm not a social anxiety kind of a person. No, not at all. I just like to understand people that I'm around. And sometimes you can't put that energy into everyone. You can only do that with a few people at a time. And then you learn who they are, you learn how they work, and you're like, okay, well, you know what? If I say that around them, they might take offense to that. So let me not say that, or, oh, if I say this in an article that I'm writing or in a blog post or something, that might offend them because I know that they just had this and this and this going on. And I don't really want to, draw any attention to that. So let me not write that, or let me write it in a different way or whatever. You have to work with people. You can't just be going around here throwing hits out on people. That is not okay. People have families and they have things that they have to do and dreams and stuff like that they're trying to pursue, goals that lives to live. So if you're offended, then you say that you're offended so that person, you can open the door for that person to say, I am sorry that I offended you. But you don't go sending a whole bunch of people out to ruin that person's life. You don't do that. And the crazy thing about it is I haven't apologized about anything since probably like 2021 or 2022, because somebody made it clear that I had said something or done something, and I was trying to, because I was under investigation and I didn't know why I was under investigation. I think some shit happened with my ex or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't live my life in a way where I'll be paranoid about the police being around and, oh my God, why they, like, I don't do that. I don't live my life. I don't tiptoe around life, but I don't live my life in a crazy way either. You get what I'm saying? So, you know what? Let me go over here and chill out for a second, okay? So somebody somebody, I don't know which organization it is, but somebody has been taking my footage out of my phone, and they have been posting it or reposting it somewhere in order to further